10,000, the real financial turning point. Forget a million. Forget six figures. For most people, the number that changes everything is 10,000. Not flashy, not impressive at parties, but real. 10,000 means you're no longer stuck reacting to every financial emergency. 10,000 means you stop fearing your next paycheck. 10,000 is when your money finally starts working for you instead of against you. Most people never get here, not because it's impossible, but because no one tells them why it matters. It's not about luxury. It's not about showing off. It's about control. Because after that first 10,000, the game changes, and you'll never want to go back. Once you save $10,000, you begin to feel something new. Freedom. Not full freedom, but a taste. And it changes everything. Your thoughts shift. Your habits shift. The way you see yourself shifts. You go from surviving to starting to live with intention. Before 10,000, every dollar feels urgent. One missed paycheck could mean missed rent. One surprise bill could derail your entire month. You're not planning. You're patching. Every decision is about staying afloat, not moving forward. That's survival mode, and it wears you down. You hesitate at the grocery store. You delay dentist appointments. You ignore car repairs because you're afraid of what one swipe might do. Now imagine 10,000 sitting in your account. Same grocery store, same dentist, same car. But now you have choices. You're no longer guessing which bill you can delay. You're no longer hoping your card won't decline. You're no longer one bad week away from disaster. $10,000 isn't wealth, but it is security. It's the line between reaction and control. With that money, you think differently. You can breathe before making a decision. You can pause before saying yes. You can plan ahead instead of just catching up. You're no longer treading water. You're finally swimming forward. Emergencies aren't rare. They're just unscheduled. Flat tire on a Monday morning. Urgent dental work on a weekend. A sick pet. A broken laptop. A last-minute flight. Most people solve these with a credit card. Then they pay for months. Sometimes years. But 10,000 in savings flips the script. Now the question isn't, how do I afford this? It's, do I pay now or later? You stay calm when your car won't start. You don't panic when your fridge stops working. You don't dread opening emails from the vet. You just solve it. Cash solves problems faster than stress ever could. And it doesn't leave interest behind. You don't need to beg the bank. You don't need to ask family. You don't need to explain yourself, because you're covered. And that calm is worth more than the repair. It's not just about the emergency. It's about how you handle it when it comes. You start asking, do I want this? Not, can I afford it? Before 10,000, every decision starts with price. Can I afford this? Will I have enough left for bills? What if something else comes up? You're not choosing based on value. You're choosing based on fear. That mindset locks you into a cycle of cheap decisions that cost more later. Cheap shoes that wear out fast. Cheap food that damages your health. Cheap solutions that keep breaking. 10,000 gives you room to pause. Now you can ask a better question. Do I actually want this? Does this improve my life? Is this worth my money and time? You're no longer trapped by price tags. You choose based on alignment, not affordability. You don't buy the cheapest flight. You buy the one that lets you sleep. You don't pick the lowest rent. You pick the place that keeps you sane. You stop chasing deals You start building a life that makes sense. That small shift rewires your habits. It teaches you that money is a tool, not a trap, and that you're the one in control. Fun doesn't have to come with guilt, but when your account balance is low, everything feels expensive. Dinner out becomes a spreadsheet problem. A concert ticket feels reckless. Even a coffee with a friend becomes a debate. That's not fun. That's stress in disguise. With 10,000 saved, something shifts. You can spend without looking over your shoulder. You don't wonder if it's irresponsible. You know you're covered. You're not escaping your reality. You're enjoying your life. You go to that weekend trip without worrying about next month's rent. You buy a gift without flinching at your bank app. You order dessert just because you want it. Not every purchase has to be optimized. Not every dollar needs to be justified. Sometimes, peace of mind is the return on investment. You didn't save to avoid life. You save to enjoy it better. And when fun is backed by security, it feels lighter. And joy feels real. You finally feel legit. Seeing 5 digits in your account changes something inside you. You walk a little taller. You feel a little calmer. You stop doubting every financial decision you make. For the first time, you feel like you're doing something right. It's not about the number. It's about what the number represents. Discipline, consistency, progress. Before this, your money felt like sand slipping through your fingers. Now it feels like a foundation. Not everyone sees it, but you feel it. The confidence doesn't come from what you can buy. It comes from knowing you've built something solid. You know you can handle life better now. You've got proof that your habits work, and that confidence starts leaking into other areas. You negotiate more boldly. You speak with clarity. You stop apologizing for wanting more, because now you've tasted stability, and you want to protect it. You learn to say no without fear. Before you hit 10,000, saying no feels risky. You say yes to extra shifts, even when you're exhausted. You say yes to friends, even when you can't afford it. You say yes to bad deals, bad jobs, and bad choices, because you don't think you have a choice. That's not generosity. That's fear. 10,000 gives you a cushion, and that cushion gives you boundaries. Now you can say no without spiraling into panic. No, I'm not available Saturday. No, I'm not taking that underpaid role. No, I'm not buying something I don't need to impress people I don't care about. You're no longer driven by desperation. You're driven by clarity. People notice when your no becomes firm. You're harder to manipulate. You're less likely to chase validation. You spend more time on what actually matters, and less time cleaning up messes from rushed decisions. Saying no gets easier when you're not broke. It's not about being rude. It's about protecting your time, your energy, and your future. And 10,000 gives you the power to do it. The first 10,000 is the hardest. It takes discipline. It takes time. It takes saying no when everyone else is saying yes. But once it's there, everything gets easier. You're no longer behind on bills. You're not playing catch-up. You've built momentum, and momentum multiplies. You start saving faster because your expenses are under control. You're not scrambling to fix past mistakes. You're building toward future goals. Every paycheck stretches further. Every dollar has a purpose. You start thinking long-term, not just how to survive the week. You stop impulse buying because you actually like watching your balance grow. Saving becomes a habit, not a struggle. And the next 10,000 comes quicker. You go from scraping by to stacking up. One solid month leads to another. And now you're not saving to escape something. You're saving to create something. And that shift changes everything. You stop making emotional investing mistakes. Investing sounds easy until your account turns red. That's when panic hits. That's when people sell low and lock in their losses. It's not because they're dumb. It's because they're scared. And fear is expensive. 10,000 in savings acts like a shield. Now when the market drops, you don't rush to pull your money. You don't need to. You've got cash. You've got time. You can wait. And waiting is where wealth grows. The real money in investing doesn't come from timing. It comes from staying. Staying through the dips. Staying through the noise. Staying long enough to let compounding do its thing. But staying is only possible when your basic needs are covered. And 10,000 does that. You can invest with patience instead of pressure. You can buy when prices are low, not just when you feel safe. You're no longer gambling. You're building. And that's how wealth is made. 10,000 doesn't fix everything, but it makes most things easier. You stop checking your bank app every morning. You stop holding your breath at the checkout line. You stop feeling dread when an unknown number calls. You start sleeping better. You start thinking clearer. You start acting from calm instead of crisis. Money is no longer a daily weight. It fades into the background. It becomes a quiet support, not a loud threat. You don't chase money. You use it. You don't fear life. You participate in it. You can take a break without guilt. You can make plans without stress. You can help someone without hurting yourself. And that simplicity gives you space. Space to think. Space to grow. Space to enjoy your days without a constant, low-level buzz of anxiety. This is the beginning of your passive path. And the path gets clearer with every dollar after that. What's next? What to do after 10K? 10,000 isn't the end. It's the base. Now the real building begins. Start by defining your buckets. Emergency fund, investments, short-term goals. Big purchases. Split your savings so every dollar has a job. Automate the process. Remove willpower from the equation. Set up recurring transfers to your high-yield savings and brokerage account. Next, focus on skills. The fastest way to grow your net worth is to grow your income. Learn something new that increases your earning potential. Start a small side project. Look for problems you can solve that people will pay for. Also simplify. Avoid lifestyle creep. Just because you have more doesn't mean you should spend more. Track your habits. Check your progress every month. Stay aware without obsessing. And finally, stay curious. Keep reading. Keep asking questions. Keep learning from people who are further down the path. 10,000 opens the door. Now it's time to walk through it with intention. The passive path doesn't end here. It starts here. 10,000 changes how you think. You stop reacting. You start choosing. You stop fearing the future. You start shaping it. The person with $0 lives in defense mode. The person with 10,000 plays offense. You're no longer just surviving the system. You're learning how to work it. You don't need to become a millionaire overnight. You need to stay consistent. Track what works. Cut what doesn't. Repeat the habits that got you here. Refuse the ones that kept you stuck. Celebrate the small wins. Ignore the noise. Focus on your actual numbers, not someone else's highlight reel. This is the part where most people get distracted. They feel comfortable and they coast. But comfort without clarity leads to drift. Don't drift. Decide. Decide what kind of life you want to build. Decide how your money can help build it, and commit to staying on the path. The passive path is about freedom, not just from work, but from stress, from fear, from financial chaos. And the first real taste of that freedom? It starts with 10,000, so protect it, grow it. Use it to buy your time back. Use it to buy better choices. Use it to move with confidence. If you've made it this far, you already know what's possible. Now it's your turn to keep going. Keep walking your passive path. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing the moment money started feeling different for you. Thanks for watching. If this helps shift how you think about money, take a second to like this video. It helps more than you know. Subscribe to The Passive Path so you never miss a step on your journey to financial peace. Drop a comment below and let us know, what was your first big money milestone? And if someone you care about is just getting started, share this video with them. They might need that first push. Good luck on your journey. You've got this. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel for more ideas, tools, and real talk about building wealth your way. See you in the next one.